I got to have it.
I shall have to beat you.
If you don't mind, the corpse still has the floor.
Approach and identify.
If your equipment isn't properly set up, you might be missing some of the benefits that stereo can provide.
Break down.
Drop that beat.
Hit me.
Hello, all you cyberheads.
Negative.
Oh my God.
Whoop that ass.
Often imitated, but never duplicated. Ain't nothing like the real thing. Peace out.
Rip it.
That was out of control, man.
The house will be in order.
Lockdown.
Wake up with Morning Wood. Wake up with Morning Wood. My name is Kirk Collins. It is November 2nd. Can you believe it? The day before the election. I can't believe it. I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend, a wonderful Halloween. Ours was so much fun, super spooky. It was so much fun. I didn't even get a picture in my costume. What the hell? And I was a sorceress. Beautiful, beautiful sorceress. A good sorceress. Kind of bad, mostly good. My husband went as a murderer. It was so scary, with blood all over. It was wild. We had the smallest little get-together. Just a couple friends came over, and we played Cards Against Humanity, and ate a bunch of food, and hung out. It was a lot of fun. It was really wild. We got pretty wild. But wow, so much fun, and it was great to see people, great to have a couple of people over, and be safe. You know, we're very cautious people here on the West Coast. Whew, it is Monday. I can't believe tomorrow is the election. I am on pins and needles. Pins and needles, honey. What's going to happen? Oh, hopefully good wins. Come on, be a Disney movie. We need it. America really needs it. Whew, honey. But we have a great show planned for you. We got some news, music, Roommates Gone Wild story from my friend April. Thank you, April, for joining the show. That'll be a bit later. And more. So let's get this show started. Our top story today is from CBS News.
Joining us now is CBS News senior political analyst and 60 Minutes correspondent John Dickerson. We're happy to tell you that he's in the studio today. John, welcome. We are not relegating you to the kids' table. We're just practicing social distancing. We're very glad you are here, John.
And it's good to be near you, Gail.
All right. Did I detect sarcasm? John, we're getting down to the nitty and the gritty. So the final campaigns. What does this tell us? What does this final lap tell us about what each candidate is doing?
Well, the first thing it tells us, which we didn't need to know, that how important Pennsylvania is. All the candidates will be there. So Harris, Pence, Biden, and Trump will all be in Pennsylvania. The turf, if you look at the battleground map, the simplest way to think about it is this is turf the president is defending that he won in 2016. His travel is all about the places he's trying to defend. What's interesting is that one trip Joe Biden is taking into Ohio. That's basically Biden going into the deeper, redder part of the map. They must be seeing something there, or they're foolhardy at the end. But that is quite interesting. And then the other important thing is they're all trying to turn out the vote on Election Day. There's no persuasion going on. It'll be interesting to see what President Obama does for the black vote with Democrats in his travel.
John, the president says we should know the results on election night and has reportedly told people that he'll declare victory if it looks like he's ahead. What do you make of the president saying that?
Well, I've spent some time talking to national security officials in the administration and also secretaries of state and election officials in the states. And what they say is that when you've got an election where they are boarding up windows in American cities, you want forces at all levels to be tamping things down, not to be calling the U.S. election system into question. So in that environment, you have perhaps the most vocal voice, the most popular, the person with the biggest platform calling the American election into question. So the president is at odds with what his national security officials are trying to do. It's much actually like he's at odds with his health officials with respect to the pandemic.
I know, John, you were in Arizona recently, and CBS News, as you know, is calling it a toss-up state. What other battleground states are you looking at?
Well, Arizona is particularly interesting because it is a booming state. It has the county, Maricopa County, at the center of all of our conversations on election night. The biggest county in Arizona is the fastest growing county in the country. It's the biggest county Donald Trump won in 2016. And he's got so many supporters there, but there's also a rift in the party there. And the reason Arizona is interesting is that's where the country is heading, to be more like a state like Arizona, more diverse. And so if Donald Trump can win there, it means he's winning into America where it's headed. This election is about who's the candidate of the future and who's the candidate of the past, in part. And so Arizona is interesting that way. I'm really interested in East Coast states that report their results early. Yeah. So that's Florida and North Carolina. They've been counting and tabulating and processing votes early.
John, both candidates spending their last hours in Pennsylvania, hotly contested state, a key state. The absentee ballot deadline was extended there. There's a legal battle over it. What's the significance of that?
Well, the legal battle means the Secretary of State in Pennsylvania has said they will count those votes that come in after Election Day. The question is counting them and then holding on to them, adding them to the total. Will they be interrupted by a legal fight? So that's still a bit of a question mark. There's supposed to be more guidance coming from the Secretary of State, I believe, today on what happens. But what it could mean is that those votes get counted, even though they come in later. The president, as we mentioned, has been saying that election has to be determined on Election Day. That's never happened. So it's just another way in which Pennsylvania is going to be a sticky state, in addition to the fact that it takes them a long time to count votes.
Many people worry, John, about November 3rd, the day after election. The thinking is country is going to be deeply divided. It already is. What do you think each candidate needs to do to unite the country?
The candidate needs to unite the country the same way a president does, which is to speak to the people who are not in your base. This is a key quality of the president, to understand their needs, to hear them and say, I hear you, and not add just a bunch of gasoline to the floor that can be ignited with people whose emotions are running high.
All right, John Dickerson, thank you very much. See you in a couple hours. John and I are part of the CBS News team bringing you election results in a...
It is Monday morning, and you know what? I want to be dancing. I hope you all had a great weekend. Wake up, Morning Wood.
Feel like a shooting star across the sky. Ooh, 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 yeah. I know I've got the power to make you feel alright. I wanna fall in love, it's gonna be tonight.
Over the weekend, Hollywood lost a legend. Sir Sean Connery has passed away at the age 90, and tributes have poured in. Poured in. Did I say poured in? Poured in. And this report is from CBS News.
Celebrating the life of a silver screen legend, tributes have been pouring in for Sean Connery. The Oscar winner thrilled audiences as the first James Bond. Chris Connolly has more from L.A. on his captivating 50-year legacy. Good morning there, Chris.
Hey, good morning, Robin. As an actor, Sean Connery gave Agent 007 the dry wit and unflappable attitude that made the James Bond movies a worldwide sensation. Yet his ability to forge a successful on-screen career after Bond was just as remarkable an achievement.
Bond. James Bond.
There's no denying what role made Sean Connery a top-shelf movie star. Undeniably dynamic in a chase sequence, a shootout, or a close encounter through 6 films that built the James Bond film franchise from 1962 to 1971.
Can I do something for you, Mr. Bond?
Just a drink. A martini, shaken, not stirred.
But during his 50-year career, the Scottish-born Connery was a lot more than Agent 007.
You're the man now, dog.
In the 90s, top-lining the action with customary authority opposite Nick Cage and Ed Harris in The Rock.
Maybe I'm losing my sex appeal.
Facing off with a fresh-faced Alec Baldwin in The Hunt for Red October.
A great day, comrades. We sail into history.
Romantically partnering with Catherine Zeta-Jones for the caper film Entrapment.
Give me the spot. What? The wrench.
Zeta-Jones among those who paid tribute to Connery this weekend. Farewell, my friend. I will cherish every moment I shared with you. Love, The Kid. Daniel Craig, who followed in his License to Thrill footsteps as Bond, calling him one of the true greats of cinema. He defined an era and a style. The wit and charm he portrayed on screen could be measured in megawatts. Connery, who was hailed as the sexiest man alive by People magazine, was married twice, sharing a son Jason with first wife Diane Salento. Then in 1975, marrying artist Micheline Roquebrune, who remained by his side until his death. In 1987, Connery captivated as a Windy City cop, delivering this sizzling David Mamet speech to Kevin Costner in The Untouchables.
Want to get Capone? Here's how you get him. He pulls a knife, you pull a gun. He sends one of yours to the hospital, you send one of his to the morgue. That's the Chicago way.
And the winner is Sean Connery in The Untouchables.
For his work, Connery would win a supporting actor Oscar, beginning his acceptance speech in typically forthright style.
Good evening. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, and a few enemies.
That dry wit leading to a famous parody on Saturday Night Live.
We meet again, you logger-headed, tickle-brained pumpion.
Comedian Daryl Hammond taking to Twitter Saturday, saying, "My condolences to his family. Always loved doing my silly impressions of him. Rest in peace." Connery's last major film would be 2003's The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, before retiring to the Bahamas. How, after all, could he possibly outdo his performance as Henry Jones, father to Harrison Ford's intrepid archaeologist in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade?
We're named the Dog Indiana.
Declared producer George Lucas, he will always hold a special place in my heart as Indy's dad. Knighted by the Queen in 2000, Sir Sean Connery died Saturday in the Bahamas, his son Jason confirming he'd been unwell for some time. Connery, who had a Scotland Forever tattoo, was a proud voice for Scottish independence, and fittingly enough, enjoyed that proudly independent career that will continue to delight audiences in the future.
Yeah,
guys?
Yeah, and Chris, it's so wonderful that, because sometimes when you're identified in a certain role, like he was, the first James Bond, but to show the breadth of his work, that he was so much more than just the James Bond character.
It's a real tribute to what he was able to do and a lesson for actors who are now in film franchises that you have a great career ahead of you.
That's true.
And I love how he ended his life where he wanted to be in the Bahamas, right? He lived his life well, it seemed.
Very full.
Certainly rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Sean Connery. Yes. Show me love. It is Monday morning motivation, honey. We're waking up to the sound of it. Little dance. the love. Here we go, you guys. Raise your hand if you remember the song from the 90s, Show Me Love. am in a YouTube show called 100%. I'm on 2 seasons of the show, but a new episode just came out, and it is Do Our Votes Matter? So I thought it'd be fun to play it on the show because tomorrow is Election Day after all. So this is from the YouTube show 100%. And check out the YouTube show for a lot of funny content. It's really funny, and I was really honored to be a part of the show.
Do our votes matter?
I don't know. To be honest, like, the candidates we have now are just like every other candidate's old white men. So, I mean, the government doesn't care about me because I'm black and gay, so we don't give a fuck about the government, to be honest.
I think the system's rigged. Your votes do not matter. I think they pick who they want.
I would say yes, our votes matter. Do they, like, hold any weight? I don't think so.
I don't think so. The Electoral College kind of proves that we don't. I mean, our votes are very suggestive, but at the end of the day, the people at the very top have the last final say.
I think everything is rigged, so not really. I hope they matter. I do. I just very often happen to think that it's very convenient the way things end up.
Not with the Electoral College. No, I don't think they really matter, to be honest.
Yes, they do. Our votes definitely matter.
Yes.
Yes, I think our votes matter.
I think they do. I think maybe it feels like sometimes in the grand scheme of things they don't, but actively participating, actively educating yourself and doing it, that matters. Like the vote itself may not get the candidate that we want or you want, but doing the process and educating yourself, that goes beyond the presidential election or any election. That helps you and that helps you make choices and think about things and stay aware throughout the whole thing.
I would like to think that they do. I think that's the essence or the spirit of this nation allows you to vote and pick your leadership, but I really don't think it matters. I think someone else is pulling the strings. I mean, now, if you're voting on American Idol or The Voice, I really think your votes count.
It's really important to vote because it's our chance to help shape our democracy. And if we don't vote, then our vote really doesn't matter because you have nothing you can complain about. You didn't help.
I mean, popular vote doesn't win, so no. But in general, I feel like the government kind of just gets what the government wants.
Do our votes matter?
Yeah, absolutely. 10,000%. I understand people not feeling that way and it being really frustrating when you are the one that's going out there and wanting change and it doesn't happen. But the thing is that you are just one person and you need to do your job and vote the way you want and then inspire other people to go out and do the same thing. It needs to be all of us. It can't be just one person. When you exclude yourself from the process, you don't give yourself a fighting chance. You don't give the person that you want to win a fighting chance. So you gotta inspire yourself, you gotta inspire others, and you gotta go out and do the thing because that's the only way what you want to get done is going to get done.
I mean, when you don't vote, you're voting. So absolutely, every voice counts.
Do our votes matter?
Absolutely, your vote matters. Just look at the numbers, okay? It was 25.5% of people voted for Hillary in 2016, 25.4% voted for Donald Trump, and it was whatever the rest, 50 whatever something percent, 48, 49% that didn't vote at all. And I'm a political science major. I'm a future lawyer and a future law student. Your votes are crucial and critical, especially in local elections. People think when they go to vote, they're just voting for the president or they're voting for one giant thing. When there's local things that directly affect you. One vote, literally making the difference between winning and losing.
I would hope that the people's vote counts, but I think the public knows what's up.
Yes and no. Because, if we look back at, the last election, the popular vote was something different than what, I forgot what the electoral, is that what it's called? The electoral vote. And so, kind of got screwed there. So it's
majority of the population does get through, but I think a small portion of the country's population's vote doesn't matter. I strongly believe that.
Because, you can vote and, be like that, and that's very important for you to have a voice and try to do something. But unfortunately, there are people that are, up higher or whatever, and, they have more power than you sometimes, and you could do so much, and they can still, don't give a fuck. But I'm not saying, don't do anything to keep working on it, but it's not, 100%.
Personally, in California, SoCal, I don't think they matter, but what matters is that when we vote, we inspire other people to vote. I get my friends to vote, and their friends get their friends to vote. So it's not the literal, us putting in our ballot that is making a difference. It's us inspiring others to put in their votes into the ballot that make a difference.
The Electoral College has such a hand in politics, and money and all of that has such an investment. It's so invested in politics. I think there's definitely a sway, but yes, I'd like to think that they matter.
And hopefully one day the Electoral College will disappear, I'm really hoping that will happen. And it can just be based on our votes. So I think it's good to vote.
Situation's driving me crazy. And I really wanna be a lady.
Just feel deep inside. It's that type of pain that makes you pray, makes you cry. But it's gonna be alright one day. This too shall pass.
Oh, Danity Kane, rest in peace. They were such a great band and just couldn't keep it together. But hey, we've all been there. It is Monday. Motivation. Wake up with Morning Wood. It is time for Roommates Gone Wild, and special guest April is here. April, you are so funny. Here is Roommates Gone Wild. Wake up with Morning Wood.
Hey, Curdy, it's April. I was just calling to maybe give you a story to tell on your Roommates Gone Wild segment. It's not so much a Roommate Gone Wild segment. It's more of a, I don't know why I have this roommate and I just can't get rid of this roommate. She moved in about 10 months ago. She whines and always needs things from me. Like, she always takes things. Every time I have something in my hand, she just takes it. How rude, right? And I can't have a good night's sleep because she's always up crying about how much her life sucks and it's so hard, and she just wants to get her own place, and I get it, and I don't know what to do, and I know that Kimberly is only 10 months old, but I tell you, I don't know if I can live with her for another 17 years. No, I'm just kidding. I love her. I don't have an embarrassing or cool roommate. It's Gone Wild story because my roommates are 3 kids, and although I love being a mother, trust me, I really loved it when it was just me too. Those were the days, but now my life has changed. They have their good days and they have their bad days, and this is my life. But, I wouldn't change it for the world. I miss you, Kurt, and I just, you know me, I just always have to show my support to you because I think you're freaking amazing and you're so awesome and you're on the radio. I love you. I hope you have a great Monday, and I'll be tuning in. Bye.
Thank you, April. Woo! Sounds wild over there, honey.
My head toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? Head toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? Ooh, child, tired of the bullshit. Gone, dust your shoulders off. Keep it moving, yes, Lord. Trying to get some new shit in there. Swimwear, going to the pool shit. Come now, come dry your eyes. You know you a star, you can touch the sky. I know that it's hard, but you have to try. If you need advice, let me simplify. If he don't love you anymore, just walk your fine ass out the door. I do my hair toss, check my nails.
Lizzo got us dancing into Monday. It is Monday Motivation here on Morning Wood. I love Lizzo. Woo, honey. It is time for our morning dump. Time for your morning dump. It is our morning dump and a surprise exit from Dancing with the Stars.
Some very sad news from Dancing with the Stars. Ballroom contestant, television host Jeannie Mai was suddenly sent to the hospital, ending her run on the show. Let's go back to Lara with the latest on this. Hey, Lara.
Hey, Amy. Yeah, that's right. She has a condition called epiglottitis, which can block air to the lungs. And Jeannie's sudden departure will have a ripple effect on the show. Take a look. This morning, television host Jeannie Mai in the hospital and out of this season of Dancing with the Stars. Mai diagnosed with epiglottitis, an inflammatory condition that can cause swelling and block airflow to the lungs. She tells GMA in an exclusive statement, quote, "My doctors discovered a health concern with my throat, which requires immediate attention and surgery. I'm heartbroken that my DWTS journey has to end here. I have pushed myself to new limits physically and mentally, and I am so proud of how far we've come." Mai competed with dancing pro Brandon Armstrong.
Guys, we are devastated by the news that we're going to have to cut this season short, but Jeannie's health does come first. Thank you to all the fans that have helped get us this far, and we are praying for a speedy recovery from Jeannie.
Dancing with the Stars, telling ABC News, Jeannie has inspired us along with millions of fans with her energy and dedication. We wish her a full and speedy recovery. This week originally scheduled to be a double elimination round, but only one contestant will be sent home tonight in light of the news. And Dance Relays, a new competition, will still happen as planned. 3 groups of couples battling it out during the same song. One judge handing out the scores and the all-important bonus points.
One dance to the beginning of the song, change couple, middle of the song, change couple, last of the song, and then they get rated a first, second, third. That is crazy. That is intense.
No word yet on how long Jeannie's recovery could take, but Jeannie, you are in our thoughts. We wish you all the best in your recovery. Amy?
Yeah, we certainly do, Lara. Thank you so much. Let's bring in Dr. Jennifer Ashton for more on this. Dr. Jen, a lot of us haven't heard of this disease, but it certainly sounds scary. Epiglottitis, how serious is this?
Well, Amy, it is a true life-threatening medical emergency. Let's look at some basic anatomy first to help people understand what this is. There's a tiny flap of tissue way at the bottom of the throat that actually acts as a safety valve. It prevents food from going down the windpipe or trachea normally. When there is an infection or occasionally trauma to this area, it can swell dramatically and basically cut off air supply. So it is actually a life-threatening emergency.
Wow. So what are the causes and what are the warning signs?
Well, the majority of this is caused by a severe bacterial infection. Luckily, again, it is uncommon. And in terms of signs and symptoms, we refer to it in medicine as the 4 Ds. So difficulty swallowing, difficulty speaking, drooling, and then distress. If these signs or symptoms are present, this is 911, get to the emergency room, and in some cases, an emergency surgical procedure to provide an alternative airway is required.
Wow. So anyone who's watching, how do you tell the difference between a cold and this condition?
You know, Amy, that's such an important question, and we have to thank celebrities like Jenny for bringing this to people's awareness. Luckily, it's rare. My favorite saying in medicine, one of them is when you hear hooves outside the door, think horses and not zebras. That means most sore throats are just sore throats. But again, those 4 Ds, good things to keep in the back of your mind.
Yeah, thank you for that very important information, Dr. Jen. We appreciate it. And Dancing with the Stars, by the way, airs tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central.
Cindy McCain, the widow of 2008 Republican presidential candidate and longtime Arizona Senator John McCain, said on Sunday that one specific incident was the final straw for her with President Donald Trump. McCain, who has since endorsed Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden, told 60 Minutes it was Trump's disrespect for those who had served in the military. For me, the final straw was they're suckers and losers, she said, referring to an Atlantic report that Trump had used those words to describe fallen soldiers. The report was later confirmed by other news agencies. McCain said, I'm the mother of 2 veterans and a wife of a veteran, and my father was a veteran. They were not losers and suckers by any chance. It angered me a great deal. It angered me. And so I thought, I could sit here and be angry, or I can do something. McCain also spoke about her late husband's friendship with Biden in a video shown during the Democratic National Convention in August. She formally endorsed Biden about a month later. McKibben has passed away at the age of 42, according to multiple sources. McKibben died due to a brain aneurysm, per Red Eye radio host Gary McMarman, who revealed on Twitter over the weekend that she was on life support. The singer was best known for finishing in 3rd place on American Idol Season 1 when Kelly Clarkson won back in 2002. Rest in peace, Nikki. Prince William had coronavirus in April 2020, according to multiple sources. The Sun, who first reported the story, reveals that the royal hid his diagnosis from the public because he didn't want to alarm the nation in the ongoing worldwide pandemic. William reportedly contracted the virus after the British Prime Minister Boris Johnson and his father, Prince Charles, all of whom had recovered from the illness, tested positive. William was hit pretty hard by the virus. It really knocked him for 6. At one stage, he was struggling to breathe, so obviously everyone around him was pretty panicked. After seeing medics and testing positive, which was obviously quite a shock given how fit and healthy he is, William was determined it should be business as usual, though. He was determined to fulfill his engagements, a source told the publication. Wow, what a surprise, and that is today's Morning Dump. Time for your Morning Dump. That was our Morning Dump. Wake up with Morning Wood. We got more music for you. BTS is Dynamite, blowing shit up on this Monday. I love BTS, honey. I have loved them since their song Fake Love. Who remembers that song? Raise your hands. Whoo! BTS Army, call me one of them, honey. I am. Here we go. Monday Motivation.
'Cause I'm in the stars tonight. So watch me bring the fire, set the night light. Shoes on, get up in the morning, cup of milk, let's rock and roll. Kink out, kick the drum, rolling on like a rolling stone. Sing song when I'm walking home, jump up to the top of the brown. Ding dong, call me on my phone, nice tea and I'll get my ping pong. This is game heavy, can't hear the bass boom, I'm ready. Life is sweet as honey, yeah, this beach chain like money. This go all alone, I'm into that, I'm good to go, I'm diamond, you know I glow up. Hey, so let's go. 'Cause I'm in the stars tonight, so watch me bring the fire, set the night light. Hey,
This demonstration will feature music in many styles.
This is a most exciting dance.
This is the best day of my life.
We've opened a doorway to a world we know nothing about.
Welcome, humans. I am ready for you.
I'm feeling yummy. It's a new week. It's election week.
Yummy, 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 yummy. Yeah, you got that yummy, 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 yummy. Say the word on my way. Yeah, babe, yeah, babe, yeah, babe. Any night, any day. Say the word on my way. Yeah, babe, yeah, babe, yeah, babe. In the morning or late. Say the word on my way. Bonafide stallion. Ain't no stable, no, you stay on the run. Ain't on the side, you're number one. Yeah, every time I come around, you get it done. 50-50, love the way you split it. 100 racks on me, spin it, babe. Light a match, get lit, babe. That jet set, watch the sunset, kinda. Yeah, yeah. Rolling eyes back in my head, make my toes curl, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you got that yummy, yum, that yummy, yum, that yummy, yummy. Yeah, you got that yummy, yum, that yummy, yum, that yummy, yum. Say the word on my way. Yeah, babe, yeah, babe, yeah, babe. Any night, any day. Say the word on my way. Yeah, babe, yeah, babe, yeah, babe. In the morning or late. Say the word on my way.
You already know I got it. Can't keep flexing on you when you can't stop this. You already know you want this. If you're talking then you ain't doing nothing. Oh, with your hands on my body. In the area of my opinion, you get what you needed from me. Sugar honey so sweet. I got that yum yum. I got that yum.
Yeah, you got that yummy, yum, that yummy, yum, that yummy, yum. You stay flexing on me. Yeah, you got that yummy, yum, that yummy, yum, that yummy, yum. Say the word on my way. Yeah, babe, yeah, babe, yeah, babe, yeah, babe. Any night, any day. Say the word on my way. Yeah, babe, yeah, babe, yeah, babe, yeah, babe. In the morning or late. Say the word on my way. Hop in the Lambo, I'm on my way. True house slippers on with a smile on my face. I'm elated that you are my lady. You got the yum, 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 yum. You got the yum, yum, yum. Whoa. Whoa. Yeah, you got that yummy, yum, that yummy, yum, that yummy, yummy. Yeah, you got that yummy, yum, that yummy, yum, that yummy, yum. Say the word on my way. Yeah, babe, yeah, babe, yeah, babe, yeah, babe. Any night, any day. Say the word on my way. Yeah, babe, yeah, babe, yeah, babe, yeah, babe. In the morning or late. Say the word on my way.
That is Yummy from Justin Bieber. Is that song supposed to make you hungry? Because now I'm hungry. I'm feeling hungry and I want something yummy. Monday motivation. Whew, honey, I am nervous for this election. I can't overstate it enough. My husband and I, we are feeling the anxiety. We are like, what is going to happen? We see a lot of businesses boarding up in preparation for Election Day. I don't know, I guess riots. I am personally, I could just speak for myself, I'm praying for such a Biden blowout that there is no question who won the election, okay? And I hope it's so big that we know right on Election Day. But I'm also a reality kind of gal, so I realize, whoo, girl, this could go on, and this could stress us all the fuck out. But it's fine. You know what? What is to be will be, and if I have to move to Canada, so be it, okay? But we're remaining positive, and I'm excited. I think, things are going to go, the way that I'm hoping for. So let's see, let's be positive. No reason to be anything less until we are given our reason for it. Tomorrow is Mental Health Tuesday, and I think we're all going to need it for Election Day. This report is from CBS News.
No pressure.
That's a good belief system Tony DeCopel has, I say.
You're held in high esteem. All right, CBS News contributor David Becker joins us now. He's an election law expert and the founder of the Center for Election Innovation and Research. Good morning, David. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning.
As we've mentioned, 94 million people have already voted. How unprecedented is that? And what do you think it's likely to mean for turnout tomorrow?
Well, we've never even come close to this in American history. To put this in perspective, by the time we get to the polls opening tomorrow, there will have been at least 100 million people who have already cast their ballots. That means if we see turnout around 150 or 160 million, which would be record turnout by far in American history, we would see the highest percentage really in American history since we've seen universal suffrage of eligible voters. But also we'd actually see fewer people voting on Election Day than we have in recent elections because so many people have already gotten their ballots in.
David, there's been a lot of talk about the legitimacy of this election. The president has raised doubts. There are concerns about foreign interference. Is there any reason to believe that the U.S. won't hold a free and fair election tomorrow?
Not at all. In fact, there's a lot of reason to believe we're going to hold a very free and fair and one of the most secure elections we've ever had. And again, one of the key reasons is that 100 million ballots that are already in the scanners, ready to be counted on election night. If we had had any problems, if we had seen any interference with election infrastructure, it's highly likely we would have detected it already. There's going to be fewer voters voting on Election Day by far than we're going to have seen voting over the last several weeks.
David, the president has also said after this election, one of the first calls he's making is to his lawyer. He has some issue with ballots being counted after Election Day. What do you make of that?
Well, I think it's a little troubling to hear that kind of language coming from any candidate, particularly an incumbent president. Look, I mean, right now the game should be to try to get as many voters out and to win the election with more voters than your opponent. We're not really seeing that from the president. Hopefully that we'll get a clear answer from the voters. I think the record turnout that we are seeing is going to yield a very clear answer from the voters. And I think there's a very good chance we're going to know who the president is sometime very late Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning.
The president also says he will declare victory if he's ahead. He seems to have walked that back a little bit now. But what happens if a candidate declares victory too early?
Well, a candidate can do whatever he wants, but of course, we've had this process for a long time. This has always been the way it's been. We have never declared a winner on election night unless the margins were excessively large. It's very, very normal to allow the process of counting all the ballots to go on.
Woo, honey, it's the 2020. What's poppin'? Eh? Wake up with Morning Wood.
What's poppin'? Brand new whip, just hopped in. I got options. I can pass that bitch like Stockton. Just joshing. I'ma spend this holiday locked in. My body got rid of them toxins. Sports in the top 10. I can put the ball in the end zone, put a bad bitch in the friend zone. This shit sound like an intro jet song. Give me that tempo. Told Pooh he a fool with the shit. Told her don't let her friends know. In the Ville and I move like a dime. Eating fettuccine at Vincenzo's. Me and my amigos got that free smoke on the West Coast. Yeah, I'm talking about pre-rolls. Dark hair bitch, and she look like she go. She do. Hometown hero, feeling myself, can't murder my ego. She heard of my deep stroke. She said, babe, does it hurt when I deep throat? Certified freak hoe, hang around us and she learning my lingo. Back then, wasn't worried about me though. In the gym, trying to work on my free throw. Goddamn. Spending money at the club like Sam's. Yes, ma'am. She a little freak on cam, but she don't put this on the ground. Little boys try diss on the ground. Hey, I can't switch on the fan. Shit's hot, hit the switch on the fan. This where my head is. I feel resentment from every direction. Even some homies be wearing expressions. I be discouraged from sharing my blessings. We used to share a connection. Now it just feels like it's wearing and stretching. I'm getting real sick of taking advice from people that never could stare at reflections. Somewhere in there is a lesson. Y'all ain't evolving, it's very depressing. I'm at the club with the basketball team. Me and the Cardinals are sharing this section. Gotta cherish the present. I'm drinking water and wearing protection. Got a career and I'm very invested. Some people call it a scary obsession. I like to call it a passion. I can be sitting relaxing. PG, we getting some traction. I'm at the venue, it's packed in. I'm digging her accent. I got a BB Simon belt on me, and she tryna get it unfastened. That's my type of distraction. That's my type of she Latin. Got my own flow, and I'm about to get a patent. Brand new sheets for the bed, they satin. Y'all wasn't tuned in back then. My swag, they keep jacking. I ain't doing no verse, quit asking. What's poppin'? Brand new whip, just hopped in. I got options. I can pass that bitch like Stockton. Just joshing. I'm spending this holiday locked in. My body got rid of them toxins. Sports in the top 10.
What's poppin'? Now we got a little Drake for ya, featuring a little Dirk.
Whoa, whoa, yeah. Sometimes we laugh and sometimes we cry, but I guess you know now, baby. I took a half and she took the whole thing. Slow down, baby. We took a trip, now we on your block and it's like a ghost town. Baby, where did these niggas be at when they say they doing all this and all that? Tired of beefing you bums, you can't even pay me enough to react. Been waking up in the crib, but sometimes I don't even know where I'm at. Please don't pay that nigga songs in this party, I can't even listen to that. Anytime that I run into somebody, it must be a victory lap. Hey, shawty come sit on my lap. Hey, they saying Drizzy just snap. This in between us is not like a store, this isn't a closable gap. Hey, I see some niggas attack and don't end up making it back. I know that they at the crib going crazy down bad. What they had didn't last, damn baby. Sometimes we laugh and sometimes we cry, but I guess you know now, baby. I took a half and she took the whole thing. Slow down, baby. We took a trip, now we on your block and it's like a ghost town, baby. Where did these niggas be at when they say they doing all this and all that?
I'm in the trenches, relax. Can you not play that little boy in the club? Cause we do not listen to rest. We in Atlanta, I bought her wig. She telling me Tay is the best. Pointed the nigga who act like a killer, but you only one from the net. I'm like the baby, I'm not just a rapper. You play with me, you won't get stretched. Bring Drake to the hood. Surround Drake around Drakes. Even though I got a case, I'ma do what it take.
And I never been embraced, and the money's hard to make, so I bet they on their face right now. I know that they at the crib going crazy down bad. What they had didn't last, damn baby. Sometimes we laugh and sometimes we cry, but I guess you know now, baby. I took a half and she took the whole thing. Slow down, baby. We took a trip, now we on your block and it's like a ghost town, baby. Where did these niggas be at when they say they doing all this and all that? When he tell the story, that's not how it went. No, they be lying 100%. Moved out of the rest and forgot about the bed. Valley just called me to tell me come get it. Now that boy off and I don't want no credit. If it was me, they wouldn't regret it. Left me for dead and now they won't dead it. Yeah. Heart is still beating, my niggas still eating. Backyard it look like the garden they eating. Pillow talk with him, she spilling the tea. And then shawty came back and said she didn't mean it. It's hard to believe it. I know that they at the crib going crazy down bad. What they had didn't last, damn baby. Sometimes we laugh and sometimes we cry, but I guess you know now, baby. I took a half and she took the whole thing. Slow down, baby. We took a trip, now we on your block and it's like a ghost town, baby. Where these niggas be at when they say they doing all this and all that?
That is today's show. Thank you so much for joining me. We'll be back tomorrow for a special Mental Health Tuesday election audition. Woo, I can't speak today. That's how you know it is Monday. Monday Motivation. Wake up with Morning Wood. Check out our website, dailywood.com. We got all the steals, deals, tricks or treats, and free shipping. Yes, free shipping and a lot of love, honey. That's what we got for you on dailywood.com. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow, 8 a.m. Pacific time. And I just want everyone to have a great day. We got Holler from the Spice Girls, which is celebrating 20 years. Whoo, honey, I remember when I first heard it. Yes, 103.7 Kiss FM out of Milwaukee played it. And I was like, oh my goodness, I want to make you holler and hear you scream my name. I'll give you rules to follow so you can play my game. And it was so funny because then 20 years ago, I know I was in Florida with my family because we were on vacation and the album Forever, the last Spice Girl album, came out. And we bought it in Orlando and we listened to it in our minivan rental. Had a CD player. So there we all are, our whole family, you know, just listening to Spice Girls Holler. Quite the sex song. I want to make you holler. That's what I listened to as a kid. Can you believe it? Thank you so much for joining me. Have a beautiful day, everyone. Please make sure you have voted as many times as possible, which again is just one. Woo! Wake up with Morning Wood. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Have a good day, everybody.
I wanna make you holler.
Let me see you holler.
Imagine us together.
Let me see you holler. Oh, child, come on.
Don't be afraid to play my game. Why don't you hesitate?
Holler at us, 1-833-WOOF, number 2, me, 1-833-WOOF, and the number 2, me, honey. That's our number. Have a great day, everyone. Holla at me, baby. 1-833-WOOF to me, baby.